Let me start by saying sipping on a drink during this episode is not advisable because we've got some shocking news. So don't say I didn't warn you, and with that, let's get into the release recap. Okay, so we recently had a couple drops, nothing insane. I will kick it off with you guys out in the US. The Jordan 5 Aqua, they released. Did you manage to get them or did you pass? Another pretty big release was of course the Union Jordan 1 Low AJKO. Now this is a pair that I did want to go for on Nike sneakers, but honestly, I completely forgot. I do want to get this pair in to see what it's all about. In my opinion, I think it's a relatively clean release. Finally, the Jordan 2 Lucky Green. This is one that I passed on. Let me know if you went for it, if you managed to cop. Again, I think these things are still hanging around now. And that's pretty much it for the releases. If there's anything I forgot or didn't mention, let me know down in the comment section how successful you were taking the W's or did you catch a few L's. Alright, so let's get into this upcoming news. And we're going to immediately kick this off with something that is pretty confusing. Air Jordan 1 High OG Black Toe Reimagined will not release in 2023. So this was kind of one of the most hyped leaks that we had in terms of upcoming sneakers for this year. Immediately in January, we got word that Jordan Brand was going to be working on a reimagined version of the Black Toe Jordan 1. The release date is now TBA. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to drop in 2024, but we do, however, have some news at what's going to take its place. This is where the confusing part comes in because what's taking its place is the Jordan 1 High OG Royal Reimagined. This was supposed to drop in 2024. However, now it looks like it's going to be taking the release of the Black Toes and drop this holiday season 2023. As of right now, what we do know is that the Jordan 1 High Royal Reimagined should be dropping this holiday season, and potentially we're going to be getting those Black Toes to take this one's place in 2024. All right, next up, I wanted to give you a very small update on something we spoke about last week, and that is the Air Jordan 11 Neapolitan. This one is going to be dropping this holiday 2023. We still don't have any images, but we do know that the release date should be this November. PSG and Jordan Brand have been collaborating for a while, and we now have some rendered looks at what they're cooking up for this year. So take a look at this image here. This is the Paris Saint-Germain Air Jordan 6 Low coming this holiday season. Now again, these are rendered images based off of the color code. Now again, this being a very early leak, we're not entirely sure all of the specifics, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot more information in the pipeline very soon. We got another pair of craft or canvas Jordan 4s that are going to be coming this year. So take a look at this pair. This is the Air Jordan 4 Craft Olive Canvas. Now, this is said to be another holiday release 2023, and again, I'm not entirely sure on this craft naming. Like, I mean, we're seeing so many different craft Jordans that it seems a little bit crazy that they would call this one craft as well. Again, we don't have any leaks of the actual colorway. I mean, obviously the base that they used for this pair of shoes was the black canvases. So again, these should be dropping at some point this holiday season. Not entirely sure what specific month. Right, so we got some first looks at a pretty crazy looking Jordan sneaker. Take a look at this here. This is the Jordan JT1 Archer Avenue. So this is said to be the first signature sneaker for Jason Tatum, and I just thought that it looks pretty wild as a basketball sneaker in general, and I actually quite like the look of it. I think my favorite part is the midsole foam that kind of moves up onto the sneaker itself in a pretty cool way. And in terms of release date, we don't have any specific month, just at some point this year these are supposed to be debuting. We've got a couple more colorways of the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe in the pipeline. So we already know that the brown colorway, or the field brown colorway, is going to be dropping on February the 7th. However, we've got two more. So take a look at this one. This is going to be the first speculated colorway called Rattan. Now, this is set to drop, like a lot of the other sneakers we've just spoke about, for holiday 2023. And this Rattan color, at least this speculated mock-up, is very, very monochromatic. If it does just look like this and it's all over sale, I'm actually a big fan. I think this looks pretty clean. And the other pair, we do know what it looks like, because this is something that we have seen leaked and rumored for a while now. This colorway right here is the White Gorge Green, coming fall 2023. I mean, from what we understand, we're supposed to be getting absolutely loads of this GPS sneaker in the pipeline, like loads of different colorways, restocks, and I think they really want this pair of shoes to be readily available for anybody who wants it. Okay, so something we spoke about a couple weeks back, I can't even remember when it was first leaked and rumored, but we know that Heineken and Nike were set to drop a pair of dunks this year. I think the common rumor was that it was going to be an SB Nike Dunk Low, and it kind of made sense that it would be that. However, we have some new information, which is pretty confusing. This is actually, I believe, an image from Heineken, who is kind of like, I guess, teasing the pair of sneakers that is going to be dropping this year. And we also have information that the Heineken Nike collaboration will not be an SB release. In fact, according to House of Heat, it might not even even be a pair of Nike Dunks. So really it could be a Dunk Low, a Dunk High, or an Air Force One. Realistically, it could be any pair of Nike sneakers that they end up collaborating on. Honestly, Heineken and Nike deciding to collaborate together, they do have a pretty big task ahead of them. Like, there's so much hype and there's so much like legendary story behind the original Heineken Dunk. So yes, we're gonna have to wait and see what Heineken and Nike are cooking up. It's definitely interesting to see the two collaborating. It would make sense if it was a Dunk. Otherwise, what are you two doing together if it's not a Nike Dunk? So let's jump into one of the most insane stories that we heard recently. This one, I cannot wrap my head around. So take a look at this here. The luxury Air Jordan Wings collection is expected to retail at $1,500. I heard that correctly. So Jordan Brand is going to attempt to create a collection of sneakers that are designed for the luxury market, and they are going to be charging luxury prices, to say the least. It's almost as if Jordan Brand decided when they did the Dior collaboration and the Louis Vuitton collaboration, they saw those sell out and do really well. Like, hey, I don't really like the fact that we have to split this money with Dior and Louis Vuitton. Why don't we just charge the same price ourselves? So apparently this collection is going to include 4 or 5 different pairs of sneakers, and we actually know a little bit about the pairs that are going to be dropping. So we know that we're going to be getting an Air Jordan 1 High 85 Wings Black Wolf Gray. We know that we're getting another Jordan 1 High 85 Phantom Wolf Gray, a Jordan 1 Low 85 Summit White French Blue, another Jordan 1 Low 85 Summit White Wolf Gray. Finally, an Air Jordan 1 Low 85 Wings Panda, of course. So according to this, we're going to get 3 Jordan 1 Lows that are all going to retail at $1,300, and then the 2 Jordan 1 High 85s are going to retail at $1,500. Now, I think one of the craziest parts about all of this is that I could see these things selling out. I could see people paying this price. Something that's interesting to note is that Jordan Brand tried something slightly similar to this with a premium Jordan 1 that they dropped at, and this was the Jordan 1 High Pinnacle White. These dropped back in 2015 and they retailed for $400, and they didn't do anything crazy. Obviously, over time, they've now risen in resale value. Here's a speculative mock-up of what the pair of shoes could look like. Obviously, it's going to be a Jordan 1 High 85, and they're just throwing the gold accents on here, like the gold Wings logo, the gold tongue tag, and the eyelets and everything, I guess just to make it slightly more premium. Now, this whole collection is supposed to be dropping at some point during holiday season 2023. So guys, I definitely want to know your thoughts on the $1,500 Jordan 1s that are going to be dropping. Would you cop them, or would you just save that money for like a down payment on a car? Alright, we got some fresh new official images of a pair of Dunks which I thought were really clean. I think we took a look at some kind of leaked images a couple weeks ago. Take a look at this here. This is the Nike Dunk Low athletic department, and as you can see, this is definitely got, I guess, a vintage basketball style to it. You got the vintaged out midsole, you got the sail laces. However, we don't have an update on the release date, so just wanted to show you these images here. They're going to drop at some point this year, I imagine pretty soon now, given that we have the official images. A little collaboration that I thought was pretty interesting. I'm not entirely sure how good these are going to look on feet, but take a look at this here. This is the upcoming undercover Nike Mock Flow. Now, there's going to be 2 colorways. This one right here. If this isn't quite good enough for you, how about the moo-moos down here? The cow print ones, which look absolutely crazy. I mean, these things look super comfortable. I have tried this midsole before on a pair of ISPA Nike sneakers, and it is super cozy. So if nothing else about this shoe is good, at least we can assume that it's going to be pretty comfortable. These do appear to be official images, so I could imagine these dropping relatively soon. We don't have any specific release date, just at some point this year. All right, let's talk about another expensive pair of shoes, which I haven't been able to escape all of the promo and just everybody talking about this pair of sneakers for one reason or another. It just seems like every sneaker news page on the internet has something to say about this pair of sneakers, and of course I'm talking about the Tiffany Nike Air Force One. So a couple of the newer information that we have on this pair of sneakers, because I think we spoke about them last week. So we do know that these are going to be dropping March the 7th. And I think one of the more controversial aspects of this pair of sneakers is the fact that they're going to retail at $400. I think people are just kind of disappointed in general at the colorway. They don't particularly like the fact that it's just a plain black Air Force One with a Nike swoosh that's in a Tiffany color. Now, to me, I think the craziest part about this pair of sneakers is the accessories that are going to be dropping alongside it, because these accessories seem like they should just be thrown in the box like as an extra. So if you want some extra silver silver debris. I mean, you think that this would come with a pair of shoes. Now, these debris will run you back $250. Or how about the toothbrush? This is gonna cost anywhere between $250 to $475, along with a shoehorn, a completely silver shoehorn, which I imagine is the most expensive item just because it's the biggest. And also, if you're not a fan of that colorway, we'll take a look at what could have been. This right here is a sample that they were doing in the process of creating the Tiffany Air Force One. I think I would prefer this one. It's all over tumbled leather. It looks pretty cool. It's a little bit different. We got some on-foot looks at the upcoming Jordan 1 High OG Washed Heritage. I thought these were called Washed Black. Maybe they changed the name. We've also got a release date for these things being June the 10th. And honestly, I think these are a very clean pair of Jordan 1s. I think it's super wearable. It's just a nice, pleasant, neutral colorway. And honestly, moving through this episode, I'm realizing how it feels like if you're watching this, you're probably thinking the sneaker game has absolutely lost its mind recently. Well, to that point, Drake has been cooking up the scuba slide. So this right here, guys, I'm not even joking, is the upcoming Nocta slides that are modeled after scuba flippers. Seriously, look at this thing here. It is literally a scuba flipper in just all over rubber, and it has a hole in the front for your toes. If you have your foot in here, where is your toes gonna end? Like, surely your toes end about here. So what, you just have all of this material of this slide in front of your toes? That's gonna make walking around damn near impossible. Like, honestly, this has gotta be one of the most bizarre things that I've seen in a very long time. Like, have you ever seen someone try to walk wearing scuba fins, and they're like, you know, you have to lift your legs and kind of make contact like this because you literally can't bend your foot? I gotta be honest, I cannot wait to see people wearing these things. I just want to see someone walking around in them. And you know, one of those people is inevitably gonna have to be me. So yes, I will be buying these things as soon as I can. They're gonna be dropping at some point in 2023. We don't even know the retail price, but as soon as we get any more information, I will let you guys know. All right, we got some first looks at the upcoming Air Jordan 13 Black Flint, looking crispy clean. So yes, this pretty much looks like the Flints. It's just replaced with the black upper. These are gonna be dropping April the 22nd, and these look to be official images, so we can see them exactly how they're going to look. You can see that nice gray suede all over the back. If you need a pair of 13s, I definitely think this is a strong option to go for. Nike's making a little change in the box department, so they're gonna be changing the Nike SB box, which gets a little refresh every now and then. This is gonna be the new one right here. Pretty plain and simple. So currently, I think we have a little mix between the purple box and then the rainbow one, which I think the rainbow one is usually more of like the collaboration one. And it's gonna be replaced by this one, which has the gray branding, the gray Nike SB branding, and then the sail. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. It's a cardboard box. It's a different color. Let's keep it moving. This is pretty cool. Take a look at this. So this is a pair of foam clogs made from the brand S&S Worldwide, and it's the Boneheads clog, obviously drawing inspiration from one of the loneliest Pokemon, Cubone. These actually retail at a pretty affordable $100 or $99, and they're going to be dropping on February the 21st. And this just kind of shows why I like foam shoes so much, because there's so many, there's almost endless possibilities of what you can create when you just have like a foam pair of shoes. And stuff like this I just think looks cool, even though it may look ridiculous on foot, and it's obviously not going to be for everyone. It's kind of cool that you get to rock something like this. An upcoming release that I'm personally pretty excited about is the MrBailey and Adidas Osmorphous. So this is one that I posted on my Instagram story, and I was like, these are fire, and people were like, yo, you must be joking. Have you lost your mind? I get it. They're crazy. They look wild, but honestly, I think they look really, really cool. I think these are something super different, and I definitely want to try them out. These are dropping on February the 9th, and the retail price is not too bad, $160 out in the US, £140 here in the UK. Something that we've been seeing a lot is Nike's push for the Nike Terminator model, specifically the low one is one that kind of interested me. We'll take a look at what could be my favorite colorway, at least that I've seen recently. This is the Nike Terminator Low Liberte. So this is going to be dropping at some point this year, and as you can see, the materials are definitely different from your standard Terminator. In fact, like, it just looks completely different from your standard Terminator. This is actually a pair of Terminators I'd like to get in hand and try on foot, because I think this is a very, very clean option. This one's not so crazy. it's just slightly, I guess you could say, unfortunate. The Jordan 1 Travis Scott is now been pushed back. The drop is no longer happening in March. It's now going to be dropping in April. That's right, guys. This is the Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott olive colorway. And of course, it was speculated to drop this March. It was going to be the most hyped sneaker that drops in March. A lot of people were super excited, but apparently it's now going to be dropping on April the 26th. I think originally this pair of sneakers was supposed to drop late 2022 and then got pushed back to early 2023, and then it was March and now it's April. So I don't entirely know why they keep pushing this one back. Hopefully that is a set release date now. If anything else crops up about this pair of shoes, you know, I'll let you know. So remember back a couple weeks ago, we spoke about the Sneakercon mystery box scandal and how a lot of people were annoyed at this, I guess you could say, company or sneaker store. Essentially, they would go to these Sneakercon events and they would sell their mystery boxes for $300. I think there was multiple reasons why this mystery box thing got so much backlash. The main one being that the shoes that were in the mystery boxes had ticketed prices that were like $300, whereas the real value of that pair of shoes was way less than that. I think one of the most viral clips was someone winning a camo Nike Dunk High, which literally goes on StockX for like $90. The update is now that Sneakercon has banned mystery boxes altogether. Issued a statement, Sneakercon has banned all mystery boxes from being transacted at our events. This policy will be effective immediately and enforced at Sneakercon San Antonio, February the 4th. But yeah, obviously this is not just for the Royal One mystery box, this is for any mystery box. I just wanted to update you guys on that developing story. Next one is the end of an era. I want you guys to chuck your RIPs down in the comment section because the Yeezy Supply website has gone offline officially. So as of February the 2nd, Yeezy Supply no longer exists. So that's pretty much it. End of an era. Leave your RIPs down in the comments. It's definitely pretty sad. Oh, guys, guess what Nike's back in the news for? You will never believe. You will never believe. This is something that they rarely ever do. They just had to throw out another lawsuit to, this time, Lululemon. That's right. Another week, another lawsuit. Nike sues Lululemon for patent infringement. This is for 4 different sneaker models from Lululemon. Currently, it's actually hard to keep track of how many Nike lawsuits are ongoing. We know that Nike is suing Bape. We know that Nike is suing StockX. Nike is suing Cool KIY and Omi sneakers. And now Lululemon. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of them, but yeah, Nike is just throwing out lawsuits left and right. This is not necessarily for the sneakers designed themselves, like they don't necessarily look like another Nike pair of sneakers. It's literally for the knit that is on these feel models from Lululemon. According to Nike, replicates their Flyknit technology. But again, this is an ongoing one. I just thought it's hilarious that we keep seeing Nike throwing out these lawsuits. So pretty much you just want to stay away from anything Nike's doing at this point. If you're a creator coming up with a new pair of sneakers, just avoid anything that remotely looks like Nike shoes. All right, final story for today. This one is another interesting one. So JD Sports suffered a cybersecurity breach potentially affecting 10 million customers. This is something that I wanted to bring up because I actually got an email from JD's telling me that, yeah, we had this huge cybersecurity breach. You need to be on the lookout. So customers who placed an order through JD Sports owned retailers between November 2018 and October 2020 may have had sensitive information stolen. So just so you're aware of all of the JD owned brands, here's a list of them. I'm not even gonna run through them so you can take a look at it here. So I'm sure if it affected you, you would have had an email from JD essentially outlining what you can do or what you should do. Apparently the only information that actually has been leaked is people's names, billing and delivery addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, and the last 4 digits on your credit card file. Your email address and your phone number, so you could be getting a lot of scam calls and a lot of scam emails, all because you made an order with JD. Yeah, just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that one. If there's any releases that I didn't mention in today's video, it's because we do this every single week, so catch up on last week's episode where we go over a bunch of other upcoming sneakers as well.